Hi there, this is Jennifer with Brome Fields, and today we're going to be working on a headband knitting pattern using a rib cable stitch. I love this stitch. It came out super pretty, and it's actually pretty easy. So the pattern, I use Cascades yarn, Spontaneous. But today in my test, my example, I'm going to be using Lion brand Woolies Thick and Quick, which they are pretty similar in thickness. They're both super bulky. And you want to cast on, I believe it's 17. You have all that information though. And I'm going to start on row 8. So I already did rows 1 through 7 and got started on that. So we can do 8 through 12, and it's really pretty easy. So I have an I cord here on the sides, on each side, right here. So it's nice and fluffy, so it lays nice and flat. So row 8, let me get that out of the way, and you will need a cable needle. We're going to, with the yarn in the back, I'm going to slip 1 purlwise, and then knit 1 and purl 2. And this is mostly just knitting the knits and purling the purls. And then we're going to purl, knit, purl 1 time. And then we'll start our cable. So it's a cable 6 back. So we're going to hold that into the front. We're going to slip 3 stitches off onto our cable needle and hold them in the back of the work because the total cable is 6 stitches. And then we're going to purl, knit, purl the purls and knit the knits. Purl, knit, purl. And then I pull that out so that I don't lose it. And then we're going to purl, knit, purl off of the cable needle, purling the purls and knitting the knits. And that other cable kind of gets a little crazy, our other needle. It's a lot to hold on to all at once. And then we'll purl 2 stitches, which is in between the cables and the I cord. That with the yarn in the back, we're going to slip 1 stitch purlwise with bring yarn forward and purl that last stitch. And then when we turn it, we're going to be on row 9. I have to move my marker down. I actually really have to kind of watch what I'm doing with this pattern until I get the hang of it again. So we're going to slip 1 purlwise, bring the yarn forward to purl that stitch, and then we're going to knit 2, knit 1, 2. So we're going to knit the knits and purl the purls. So we're going to purl, knit, purl. No, we're knit, purl, knit 3 times. Knit, purl, knit twice, and then knit, purl, knit. My hands are used to doing knits and purls. And then 2 knit stitches, bring the yarn forward, slip 1 purlwise, and then purl that last stitch. So now we're ready for row 10. With the yarn in the back, we're going to slip 1 purlwise, and we're going to knit that stitch. So we slipped that stitch previously. And then we're going to purl 2. And then we're going to purl, knit, purl 3 times. Purl, knit, purl, purl, knit, purl, and then purl. Then we're going to purl 2 and do our I cord. So with the yarn in the back, slip 1 purlwise, bring the yarn forward and purl. So that always looks wrong to me whenever I do that. It just feels wrong. But then once I see it all come together on this side, I feel better. So we're ready for row 11. So with the yarn in the back, we're going to slip that purlwise. We're going to bring it forward to purl that stitch so it kind of tucks that purl stitch in, and then all is good with the world. So we purled that, then we're going to knit 2 stitches. And then we're going to knit, purl, knit 3 times. Knit, purl, knit, knit, purl, knit, knit, purl, knit, and then we're going to knit 2, and then we're going to bring the yarn forward, slip 1 purlwise, and then purl. And I always remember that I bring my yarn forward depending on where that purl stitch is, because I want my yarn to kind of blend in with that purl stitch there, that when I slip that stitch. Alrighty, so now we're ready for row 12. Row 12 is our other cable. So we're going to slip 1 purlwise, and then we're going to knit into that slipped stitch. We're going to purl 2. All right, and then we're going to swap. So we did our cable over here last time. This time we're going to use these first 2 to do our cable. And we're going to do cable forward. So instead of doing a right leaning cable, we're going to do a left leaning cable. So with the yarn in the back, we're going to cable 6 front. So we're going to slip 3 stitches onto our cable needle, hold them into the front of our work, and then we're going to purl, knit, purl. So we're purling the purl, knitting the knit, and purling the purl. And pull that so I don't lose any of those stitches. And then we're going to purl, knit, purl off of this cable needle, purling the purls and knitting the knits. And they're a little tight. Knit and purl. And then purl, knit, purl. Purl 2. With the yarn in the back, we're going to slip 1, bring the yarn forward, and purl that last stitch so that it looks all wrong. And that is what it should look like whenever you get started. Oops, there we go. So nice I cord. Did the right leaning and then the left leaning. So it is a 12 row repeat. No, it's not. It's 5 through 12, so 7 row repeat. How about 8 rows? 8 row repeat. And you just keep repeating that. I believe I did it 7 times. And it was a little tight when I put it on my head, which I really like the look of it in the pictures. But I think that if I were to make it again, I'd probably go another 7 or 4 rows, I think. I think it's 4 rows. I don't remember because I added an extra 4 rows, I think, to the end. So you could do one more set of cables, which that's what I would do, just one more set. So 4 more rows. And then I would end it with the 4 because I have this a little bit longer. So on this here, I'll show you so you can see whenever it comes together, I don't have a cable right here. So it made it a little bit looser because otherwise I'd have 3 rows and then a cable. And I just felt like that was just too close to the seam to have a cable. So I really liked how that came together. And you could always just add more to the end. It's the back. Not really going to see it, not like that, where that's the front, which is absolutely, I think that is beautiful. I love it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that and it was helpful, and I hope you enjoy your new headband. Thank you so much for watching.